policies I decided to do for my project are House of Representative Policy 255 and House of Representative Policy 321. I did two because they kind of went hand in hand and they were actually written into law on the same day. Both of these are promoting women towards STEM programs, or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So the summary of the policies. The purpose of both of these policies is to encourage women towards STEM programs. And one thing I did find interesting about it was that both of them were supported by both major parties. Both Democrats and Republicans contributed heavily on both of these policies to pass them, and it was actually passed within several days of not a whole lot of objection to these policies. So House of Representatives 255 was actually also named Promoting Women in Entrepreneurship Act. This gives the National Science Foundation the ability to encourage and to recruit and support women in the laboratory as well as in the commercial world. So it's wanting the National Science Foundation to encourage more women to get into the laboratory, but as well as putting them out in the commercial world. So showing society that the STEM programs are represented by female contributors. The second one is House of Representatives 321, which is also known as Inspiring the Next Space Pioneers, Innovators, Researchers, and Explorers Women's Act. This is actually through NASA, so the federal government is telling NASA to encourage women and girls to study in STEM programs. And the way they're doing this is by connecting K-12 female STEM students with people who are already in these fields. This is through NASA Girls and NASA Boys, both science programs during the summer, as well as bringing them to the actual schools of these students. So the issues that these policies addressed was that while women make up 50% of the workforce, less than 25% of those women work in STEM professions. Also, only 26% of women who have STEM degrees, graduate with a STEM degree in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, actually work in their fields. Another thing that one of the articles was talking about was a feminine career versus a masculine career. So what they were saying, while this is decreasing, the gap is still there, so we're working on still decreasing that gap, is that while STEM programs were considered more masculine careers, things like teaching or home economics or something like that was considered feminine, or like secretary, or the whole male nurse thing. So they were considered feminine. So instead, these policies are wanting to discourage that sort of mentality and encourage more of a gender-neutral type of career. One of the things it points out in the article is that careers that are considered feminine actually receive less pay, which contributes to the pay gap between males and females in the overall national statistics. So they're wanting to address that with these policies. So support, oppose, or amend. One thing that these policies kind of had a little controversy over was that the Code of Ethics talks about not discriminating against sex. So while the argument was made that this policy was giving a preference towards females, which would go against the Code of Ethics. However, after reading through the actual terminology of the policies and also about the social justice section of the NASW Code of Ethics about equality of opportunity, what I have discovered is that these policies are actually trying to give women an opportunity the same that men have had in pursuing things like education, work, and training opportunities so that they would be better candidates for these fields. So really, the way I see these policies is a way of making sure that women have an equal opportunity to pursue these careers as does a man. So in my opinion, social workers should support these policies in government as well as advocate for them in their local governments.